I thought I was just helping a lonely old man across the street. I didn't realize he'd been dead for months. You ever have one of those mornings that feel off? Like the air's too still and everything's watching you? That was me 2 months ago. I was running late for work, coffee in hand, heading down 69th Street. It's a quiet neighborhood, mostly retirees and young couples who still believe their houses are investments. As I passed this old brick house, the kind with ivy choking the porch railings, I noticed an old man sitting by the window. He waved. I froze. Not because of the wave, but because I knew him. He used to sit outside that same house when I was a kid, Mr. Galloway. Retired watchmaker, always wore suspenders. He'd tell us neighborhood kids ghost stories about the things he saw after midnight. I hadn't seen him in years. I smiled and waved back. That night I walked by again. He was still there, same spot, lights off behind him, staring out through the glass. He waved again. Something about it felt strange. He didn't blink. Didn't move. Just lifted his hand and held it there. When I told my neighbor Liz, she frowned. Mr. Galloway, he died last winter. I laughed. No, he didn't. I literally saw him yesterday. She looked uneasy. His daughter sold that place months ago. It's empty. I didn't sleep that night. The next morning I went back, partly to prove her wrong, partly because curiosity's a disease I've never cured. Same house. Same window. And sure enough, Mr. Galloway was there again, smiling faintly, eyes dull behind the glass. I lifted my hand and waved. He waved back. I walked closer, squinting through the reflection. The window looked fogged from the inside. I could just make out the outline of a chair, maybe an old lamp. But the face, it didn't quite move right. Like it was projected through a layer of dust. That's when I noticed something. The handprint. A fresh handprint on the inside of the glass. Smudged downward. I knocked. No response. I circled around the house, trying a side door. Locked. The backyard was overgrown, weeds taller than my knees. When I looked back at the window, the chair was empty. And the handprint was gone. I don't remember walking home. Just the sound of the wind against the fence and this weird, hollow ringing in my ears. That night, I couldn't stop thinking about it. I poured a drink, sat by my own window, staring across the street. The lights in his house flickered once, then went out completely. I told myself it was an electrical short. I wanted it to be. But then, I heard something. A faint tick, tick, tick. Like a watch winding itself. It was coming from my living room. When I turned around, there it was, an old brass pocket watch sitting on my coffee table. I'd never seen it before. The back was engraved with my initials, DL, and underneath that, a small inscription. Don't let me watch alone. The ticking stopped. The next morning, his house was boarded up. Police cars, yellow tape, the whole scene. I asked what happened. An officer said, "We found a man inside. Looked like he'd been dead a long time. Maybe 6 months." I swallowed hard. "Anyone else?" He shook his head. "No one living." That night, I put the watch in a drawer. But I still hear it sometimes, ticking faintly like it's keeping time for someone else. And every morning, when I leave for work, I catch a glimpse of that old brick house. And someone's always sitting in the window. Watching. Waiting. And when I wave, he waves back.